Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I would like to talk to you about Lords of the Fallen 2. Most of the information that I am going to be getting for this game comes from CI Games YouTube channel. They have been posting podcasts and whatnot to keep people informed about their upcoming game. And I am very excited for this. This is one of the 4 games I'm really looking forward to. Maybe 5 games if E-Day had more information on it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off with lore and somewhat a story. So the little information that we have is that it takes place in 100 years from the previous game, Lords of the Fallen 2023. Now, it is going by, unfortunately to us Radiance fans, it is going by the Umbral ending, which is really honestly the only way they could justify making Umbral more, not the only way, but the easiest way that they can make Umbral more impactful, more in-depth, compared to 2023, than if they went with the Radiance or the Inferno ending. I think the Inferno ending was immediately knocked off the charts for not being a potential ending, potential canon ending, and Radiance just very much limited the pathways that they could take the story. Now, there's 4 new characters. However, we've only seen 3 in the trailers. We have the Dark Enchantress, who a lot of people are speculating is like our Pietà, who upgrades our Sanguinarix. We have the new Paladin, which we don't even have his name yet, but basically they want to make him like, you look at the old Dark Crusader, which was Isaac, or / our character, and turn him up to 11, make it look like he would absolutely dog walk the previous Dark Crusader, and his design looks so cool. I've got to say, I love this new design. And then we have the next character, which I forget his name, but he's the one that says Retribution in the trailer, and he's going to have some type of important story plot to him. I'm not too sure. We have the judges, as some of you may know, like Judge Cleric. They are pretty important to the lore, and apparently the judges are going to have some level of interaction within the Lords of the Fallen 2, which I'm looking forward to. I want to know more about the judges, because apparently, what I've been looking into, there's 3 judges in total. Let's see. Umbral has almost completely taken over the entirety of the world. There's like very few spots that Umbral has not seeped its corruption into. This is going to be taking us far away from Mornstead to apparently something like a whole new countries, which I am looking forward to. It seems like it's going to be open zone and not open world, which unexpected. I was kind of thinking more of an open world from everything that I was hearing about, but after watching their videos, it seems more like an open zone game than anything. Which still excited for, because open zone means they can like focus on more impactful story moments than having a open world, which oftentimes have difficulty balancing the two. But either way, looking forward to that. There is this Tower of Power, as they described it in one of their videos, that is going to have a central plot point within the story, and from the little bit that we know about it, it seems like it's going to be seen as the safe area, the safe HUD like Skyrest was from Lords of the Fallen 2023. And then you have the Scion, or Skyon, as some of the devs call it, one of the devs, which is the hand lady, the hand angel lady in the announcement trailer. This is really all I understand from the point that the gods are, or the god of Aureus, to my knowledge, it's just him. It has basically taken the only thing that the humans have in order to help them fight against the darkness, the Umbral, and have forsaken their people, and that's why the guy in the trailer says, "Bring us our retribution," right? That's going to be interesting. So basically, your last game kill demon, this game kill god. That's basically the gist of the story plot that I am aware of. I'm very interested in seeing where it goes from there and wanting to know. I want to know more. On to weapons and armor. So somebody had asked if that the weapons and armor from the previous games or previous game is going to transfer over to the new game, and they said all of them are. Now I don't know if that means that like all the base armor is going to be there, or if all of the armors, like all of the boss armor and boss weapons and whatnot, are going to be there. I'm very interested to see if it is, because if that's the case, how are we going to earn all the boss weapons? Is there going to be a Pieta fight? Maybe Pieta's spirit or something like that? Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that Pieta's soul was bonded with a parasite, and the only way to cleanse her soul of that parasite was to kill the parasite, and the only way to do that was to kill her. And, well, while that doesn't necessarily mean kill the soul, as the stigmas, it's a whole theory I'm not going to get into at the moment. I may make a video about that theory. But essentially, how are they going to introduce the weapons? I don't know. But apparently most of the weapons from the previous game, to maybe even all the weapons from the previous game, is going to be in Lords of the Fallen 2. I'm very interested to see how they actually pull that off. Locations and enemies. There's apparently going to be like 6 zones from what I understand, and there's 7 different enemy factions. Now, the previous game that was complaint about, or criticism, not complaint, criticism about how very few enemy factions and very few enemy variety was in the game. While they were fun, there wasn't a whole lot of unique difference. You were basically seeing the same enemies from start to finish. And they have significantly amped up the number of enemies within the game, and I'm very happy about that. It's no longer just a just miners, the headbutt guys, anyway, you get the gist. It's not just the few enemies now. It's going to be a whole lot more. And I'm very excited for that. Next on the list, let's see. Oh yeah, executions, combat. Let's get to combat. Going to be faster, more aggressive. There's going to be executions in the game. I don't know if there's going to be anything that gives the bonus for executing enemies. I'm betting there's going to be, because they said themselves that there was going to be some type of benefit. I don't know how big that benefit is, or if it's even worth it. But, I mean, to me, executions are always worth it. I love executions. They're amazing in any game. And I'm very happy to see them popping up in a Souls game, or a Souls-like game. Lords of the Fallen has been my favorite Souls-like experience ever. I've tried Mortal Shell, I've tried a few others as well, but Lords of the Fallen, it's just great. Now, let's get into the big ordeal. Umbral. How has Umbral evolved from Lords of the Fallen 2023? Significantly. So, in Lords of the Fallen 2023, there was basically one type of Umbral. And I know, like, what do you mean one type? I mean, like, the color palette is the same. The locations of this are the same within Umbral itself, right? There's not much difference between, if you go into Umbral, say, at the beginning of the game to the end of the game, it basically just looks the same. There's not much difference, right? That was something they wanted to rectify. So, Umbral in Lords of the Fallen 2 is going to have a lot more diversity between each area. It's going to have a lot more enemies. The way you enter Umbral is going to be different. Instead of being like you always use the lamp to traverse from Axiom to Umbral, you can walk through it in certain areas because it's supposed to be like a invading force within this world now. And that sounds incredibly exciting to be able to just walk from Umbral to Axiom. That sounds incredibly cool. Now, to my knowledge, anchor points and vestige points are going to still exist, and or not exist, but still get you out of Umbral. I'm looking forward to. I really don't know how the new system is going to work with just walking into Umbral and walking out of it at certain areas. Like, are they going to put vestiges in certain points of Umbral? Which, if you rest there, you're still in Umbral, or what? I don't know. That would be interesting. But not only are locations, there's going to be a lot more enemies, a lot of new enemies in Umbral. The Umbral density modifier, the eye to the top right, is apparently there's going to be a lot more enemies coming at you. It's not just going to be you get to the Crimson Reaper, you fight him, and you're good to go. It's actually going to be more enemies, more stuff that's going to try to kill you, right? And you're not going to be able to cheese it. You can cheese the Crimson Reaper. I think it's actually called the Scarlet Reaper. I constantly call it the Crimson Reaper. But you're not just going to be able to cheese him anymore. And they called it the Chaser. So I don't even know if the Reapers are going to be in the game anymore, if it's going to be a different enemy type. That would be interesting to see, actually, now that I think about it. But that is like, that's actually really cool to think about. One cool way they did describe the Umbral, how you get into it, it's more of Umbral is inside of you and you have to use it, and that is cool. That is a cool concept. Instead of just you being a person that uses a lamp to wield it, you are Umbral. You have become, the stuff that's in you is becoming your weapon, and that I'm really interested to see how they actually implement into the game and how it doesn't feel just there, right? I am super excited for this game. I'm super excited for Lords of the Fallen 2. Not only does it look like it's constantly getting better. Everything that we've seen, again, highly recommend watching their videos on CI Games to actually get more in-depth look into it. I'm not doing it very well justice. I am too small of a YouTuber, but I to say the least, I'm very excited about it. I do kind of want to do more videos like this where I actually go behind video to start talking about stuff and not just do gameplay videos. So if you're interested in this, let me know. Or interested in more stuff like this, let me know. With that, I think that's the most important things to talk about for Lords of the Fallen 2. If there's anything that you would like me to mention, I will possibly make another video. I'm thinking about making that theory video about Pieta, though. That could be something cool. I don't know if that's actually going to be a plot point. I hope it is, but you never know. Anyway, this is Photoshadow signing out. Hope you all have a great day.